And now, the Kentucky Postgame Show. Please please subscribe. You know how it goes. I'm Fletch. I like lemonade. We're with Mario. He likes sweet potato fries. And then we're with Big Mike. You like steak. You like some hamburgers.
Man, I just like food.
Okay. No, I'm like that too. I like the food. It's St. Patrick's weekend.
I know it is, man.
Patty's
It is,
weekend.
man. I'm surprised. We should have done. We should have wore green. That's what we should have done. But
Yeah, but we're adults, so I mean, dude, I feel like Mike, I feel like you would be pinching people in high school, were you?
No, man, they attacked me in high school because, I don't know, I guess I was slow, so they pinched me and run.
yeah, I was gonna say I'm not a big St. Patrick's Day guy, but yeah, it would be cool if we could have wore green. But
Yeah, but A&M, Texas A&M,
Yep.
they beat us, man.
they did. Tough game, man.
They
Tough
beat
game.
us, 97-87. The Cats lose. I mean, I don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, tough loss. SEC, that's what you get in SEC competition. But yeah, tough loss.
Yeah, tough loss. Back in the studio. What led to this? What led to this Kentucky loss? You know, the first exit to Texas A&M.
Yeah, I got to go. Perfect formula for Texas A&M. You get to play day before. Kentucky doesn't get to play a day before, so rhythm is going to be on the side of Texas A&M. You start off the game terrible for Kentucky. Kentucky did not start off the game well. Cal made an early timeout. You could see that Kentucky they weren't settled in. They looked like they weren't settled in completely. The pace of the game was different for Kentucky as well. Texas A&M, they played Texas A&M's brand of basketball. Slow it down, walk it up, leak the clock, play slow offense, let Kentucky don't necessarily – what Texas A&M wanted to do was they wanted to run – but only when they can, only when they have to run, and push the pace. But they wanted to keep it in the half court. You saw Texas A&M play zone a little bit to slow Kentucky down, will them into quick shots. That way they can get back on defense to play in the zone. I think A&M, like I said, it went their way. They had, a better game plan, and Kentucky did not play their brand of basketball. We're so used to seeing Kentucky move the basketball, not letting that basketball stick. Get out in transition, get easy buckets in transition. Texas A&M, that they played their brand of basketball. And another thing that I want to point out is that the Cats just did not play well. Their defense it's been an issue all season long. Season long, we talked about their defense. It goes back to a few games ago where I mentioned the announcer of how he stated how Kentucky can outscore anyone. They don't necessarily need to worry about their defense. This is a prime example of why they need to worry about their defense. Defense wins championships, and the best teams that have won championships were at least decent defensive teams. And Kentucky, we saw it tonight, just wasn't. The defense was not there, and it's not just one guy that's not playing defense. It's a whole unit. You got the 7-footers. Didn't play great defense today. Our shot blockers that are known to be shot blockers were not shot blockers. No. And then our guards didn't stay in front, so that didn't help as well. And then you got to give some credit to Texas A&M. They have some really good guards. I mean, you got Taylor, you got the other guard, Radford. Those guys, they can play as well. They made some tough shots where we did play decent defense, and they did make shots. But like I said, it was a perfect formula for Texas A&M to win. Get a win, and all you need is one game in the SEC tournament, just one game.
So it's not that they had the momentum, because that is a good point. But the thing is, they've looked good the last 5 games. They've looked like a tournament team. I even mentioned to my family when they beat Ole Miss last game of the season. That's who they got. That's who they drew first game of the SEC tournament. They beat them by 30, 26 points. So. We didn't look like us. Even Shep didn't. He didn't look like himself. Like he was making some ill-advised turnovers. Robert Dillingham scored 27, but there was 3 consecutive possessions where he turned the ball over 3 consecutive times, down double digits. I think the potion that they drank is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They beat us in College Station. The 2 guards that they had combined for 59. Last night, We let them 2 guards have 55. Can't win that way. We not when Antonio Reeves, our All-American guard, has got 4 fouls and 13 points. He was not All-American level yesterday. It wasn't a Kentucky brand basketball, and so that's just the way it. That's the way the SEC tournament played out for us.
It was tough, man. It was definitely tough. You got your one of your best players in foul trouble. That didn't help. No. Speaking of foul trouble, a lot of the calls that were being called, I'm not calling nobody out, no refs out or anything like that, but some calls were very questionable on Kentucky's favor. So I like I said, it was just the perfect storm for Kentucky tonight. Whether it's the pace of the game, like you said, or one of our best players getting in foul troubles, turnovers didn't help as well. It's just tough. It's definitely a tough loss for Kentucky, and it sucks for the fans as well.
When we got down 8-1, I'll be honest, I knew we were in trouble because the guys that we knew we had to stop was the ones that was scoring those 8 points in the first 4 minutes. It was a disaster.
Kentucky has won one SEC tournament game in the last 4 years. That's one SEC tournament game they've won with the last 4 teams. Yeah. So that's 4 different teams, guys.
Yeah.
So, Calipari. Is Calipari the one to blame?
I'm going to say no. I'm not going to blame him on this one, especially not last game. I can't blame him. I don't know what's being said in the locker room or whatever the case may be. I'm not in their practice gyms. I don't know exactly what's going on. But as far as as a spectator of what I've seen and from watching the game, I got to say he tried everything. I'm gonna be honest with you. Cal tried everything. If we really break it down, Cal went small in the second half. He went small. He put Trey Mitchell at the 5. That didn't work. You see Cal subbing in and out guys as soon as they make a mistake, or if they're not defending, they're getting subbed. They make a turnover, they're getting subbed. We saw him put one of our best on-ball defenders on one of our best players. We saw Edwards being put on Taylor at some point. So I gotta say, I can't just blame it on Cal for this game. He's been trying to do. He's been talking about the same things we're talking about: defense, being able to defend, and the passing the ball. Where if Kentucky doesn't share the ball, they just look like a different offensive team. They might not look as bad. You might not see it if you don't really pay attention to it. But when you see Kentucky, the team that we love to watch, the team that's so fun to watch, it's always when they're moving the basketball and they're playing unselfish. And that last game they were not that same team. It was a lot of one-on-one. Your turn, my turn kind of thing, and that didn't help. But I can't blame Cal just for last night's loss against Texas A&M. It's hard to win in the SEC. Number one, I think a lot of teams don't know that. A lot of people in general don't know that, especially now.
SEC is good this year.
SEC is good this year. Like let's give some credit to Texas A&M and all the other teams. We saw Tennessee got knocked off. This is the best conference in college basketball. I can't just blame Coach Cal on this one. Exactly. I'm gonna let you because I know you're gonna. I know you're gonna have something to say. But big picture for me, man, I say let's wait. Let's see what happens in this March Madness, and then we can evaluate and have our justified opinions on whether if it's Cal's fault or not. I know Cal always says blame it on him because you don't want to blame it on the kids, which is totally understandable. But I say right now, let's just wait and see. SEC is tough to win in, and you got to give Cal some credit. He gets a new team every single year. A lot of people don't know how hard that is when you get a new group of guys and you got to make them gel, regardless of how much talent you get on that team. This talented team that you're getting, you got to make it work somehow in 5, 6, 7 months. And like I said, I know Cal's going to get a lot of bash, but I say I'm not going to put the full blame on him. Kentucky fans have to understand that it's hard to win in the NCAA tournament as well as SEC tournament. It's one game. It's not a series like you see in the NBA. And sometimes the best team doesn't always win. That's what I got to say.
All right, so let's start out with I disagree, Mario. It's 100% Cal. We've been living this dream as what we thought would be as soon as he come in 15 years now. The last 4 years in our conference has been a disaster. In the last 4 years, you said we're 1-4?
An SEC tournament.
Yeah, SEC tournament. So that's one game, right? One game. It's a survive and advance, right? Mm-hmm. The teams we lost to is a 7-seed A&M team, which arguably is playing better than that seed. Correct.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll let this one slip because they are better. But last year, Vandy, there's no excuse. They beat us 2 out of 3 games last year, and they beat us at Rupp, back to back. Last game of the season, Senior Day, and then they come in first round. They beat us worse, like 9 points, I think. And then COVID, the year after COVID, we lost. It was the worst team that Cal's ever had here. We get bounced by Mississippi State, and then we won one tournament game with Keelan Grady team. I'm tired of I've been optimistic since Cal's got here because I love a lot of people. You either don't like the one and done, or you like it. You know, you can't be on the fence.
No gray area.
I like it. I like it for the fact that he puts butts in the seats, and these dudes are scoring 30 a game in the NBA. But that's the NBA. That's not the University of Kentucky. They're 18, 19 years old. We're playing against grown men in the league. Like you said, this is the best conference in basketball. Once Tolo Smith from Mississippi State or once Wade Taylor, which is 22, coming at you down the lane, he knows what to do. He's done it for 4 years. You know? Calipari is supposed to be the best coach in the country. If not, he's top 3. He's been here 15 years. If you can't beat it in year 15 with the guard play in the number 1 recruiting class in the country, there's no excuse. We've only got one more guaranteed game for the rest of the season. I don't think it's, let's evaluate. I don't think we can evaluate. It's one more game. If we ain't got it fixed now and the rotation ain't fixed now, what's that one game? We could be bounced in the first round like we've seen 2 years ago. That's all I got about that one.
Cal, the Kentucky fans always got to say, you got your Kentucky fans, Fletch, that, when they win, it's Final Four bound, we got a chance. We gotta do this and that. We're going to Nashville. I don't care how much the tickets cost. We're going there because we know this team can win, right? Then we lose a game in the regular season, and the first person that we're gonna blame is Coach Calipari. Why?
Tweets, man.
Why?
Tweets.
Why?
Tweets
That's my question. Why? Why
Tweets
is it that we have
out.
to, blame one guy? And I think it's deeper than that. Maybe Kentucky's just maybe they're a young team. Maybe that's it. They're just a young group of guys. You only got a few veterans on the team, and they're still trying to learn, just like any other team in the country. So I don't blame it on Cal necessarily. That's my take.
Well, I would like for the fans to comment on this one, but I'm going to say this right here. This man, John Calipari, is getting paid $10 million a year. Highest paid coach in the country.
He's earned it.
But if it's always don't blame it on the players, blame it on me. He's taking the blame, but that's the same song and dance we've heard the last 5 years. This last 5 years has not been the University of Kentucky. And me, as a diehard fan, I'm not satisfied. I'm not saying win the whole thing this year. That's a hard feat.
That might not happen. I was gonna say that might not happen. Let's folks.
Like you said,
I know we want fans to win the whole thing this year. It may not happen. You could be the best team and it's still not.
It's the
happening.
hardest tournament. It's the hardest tournament in the history of sports. Is the NCAA tournament. 68 teams. They play one game at a time, and if they are the hottest team that game, they advance. So I agree. It's hard, but we are the University of Kentucky, the greatest tradition in college basketball. To get bounced in the first round of the conference is not acceptable.
So, who do we? I'm not even going to ask the question. I was going to say, who do we even replace him? He's a Hall of Fame coach, guys. Like, who do we replace Cal with and to get someone better as what Cal brings? Cal brings so many different things to the table. And like I said, I don't know. I just feel like we have to wait. Let's just wait and see what happens this whole season.
Man, two really good points, man. I mean, what you said, but one SEC tournament win in 4 years.
It gets worse than the SEC, it gets worse when you look it up in the NCAA tournament. It's even worse.
Yeah, I'm not declining and saying that that's good or whatever the case may be. I understand that it's hard. It's not easy just to dominate college basketball, especially you got the transfer portal now where guys can come in and out of schools. You got like Cal gets a new team every single year, and it's like he doesn't get a lot of veterans that come into him. It's usually freshmen, 5-star prospects that usually are stars on their high school team, and now you're asking them to be a different role on a different team. That's an adjustment. That's definitely an adjustment. And you have to factor that the competition that Cal matches up against in the SEC, that matters as well.
When you asked who do we replace him with, that I've never, since he came here 15 years ago, I've never wanted to think about that because I thought he was the guy.
Yep.
Okay? But when you think about it, look at who's the best teams in the country right now, like the Purdue's, the Houstons, the Tennessees. Like even though they got beat, they're still elite.
Yeah.
But if you look at these teams, they've got a couple freshmen, but somehow in Cal's mind is if you can't, like right now, Reed Shepherd, number 1 overall pick, he's elite, but he was supposed to come back for a couple years. Like let's say he's on Houston's roster, Kelvin Sampson's going to be like, hey man, we'd love for you to come back year 2. Let's we don't do it this year, let's do it next year. That's what I'm assuming. This year and every other year, it's hey, if you can go make your money, go make it. And it's just hard because of the turnover rate. It's always hard.
Yeah. And then looking at Nashville, we had a lot of fans there. We had a lot of fans. I think you said you knew a dude who spent like $425, $450 on like each tickets. 3 tickets.
Hey, I'm sorry, Bargo.
He just went there to see Kentucky lose. No, another big thing that a lot of people were tweeting about going against Coach Cal again is the starting lineup. So, should Cal now change the starting lineup?
So I'm gonna go with this one first. Part of me says no because, like I said, we only have 1 game left. But I'm gonna spit some facts here that nobody knows. Okay,
lay him out.
We don't know.
We've played 32 games. Okay. When does Reed Shepherd and Rob Dillingham come in? It's the first media timeout, right? It's about the 16-minute mark. So I looked up. Did you know out of 32 games, by the time the media timeout comes around, we've only been ahead 10 of those 32 games? So we have either been tied or down playing catch-up when our 2 All-Stars come in. That you look at it 2 ways. You get that bolt of energy from the bench when the other team's subbing, or you play. Oh well, they we took their biggest punch. Now we're about to unleash the cavalry. No, that didn't work. We were down 8-1 until they came in. So my thing is, if we would have been sitting 1 or 2 of these players and kept Reed Shepherd starting or kept Dillingham over these dudes that are averaging 13.5 points a game and Reed Shepherd and 15 a game from Dilly, if you start those players first, right out the gate, the other team is getting they're getting our best punch. But I like our guys over anybody else in the country when Cal has the best lineup. And the best lineup is with those 3 guards, Reed Shepherd, Robert Dillingham, and Antonio Reeves on the court at the same time. And then you could, at this point, don't even care who the other 2 are. But if you want my opinion, I'd rather go Aduthiero for defense, and I'd either go Ugana for defense or Big Z now for offense. But if you start those 3 elite guards from the get-go, then you play and give any other team in the country our best punch. And then we have these All-Americans that could sub in.
Right.
They could just wade the time until they're refreshed, go back in there and go for another 15 minutes. But I looked that up and I was shocked. 22 out of 32 games, we have either been down or tied before Rob and Reed touch the floor. That's not a winning potion.
So my take is why change it? Why change it if it's working? You got Reed and Rob. I know they come in so early in the game, but I think changing the starting lineup can hurt us more than it can help us. You got to think about it. You got DJ Wagner, All-American, best on-ball defender. Justin Edwards continues to get better. You swap this lineup, change the lineup this late in the season, it can hurt. It can hurt their confidence. It can hurt DJ Wagner. You might not get the same production with DJ Wagner. We know what Justin Edwards, he's just starting to get back on track. Didn't have the greatest game that last game, but I feel like changing the lineup it would do more hurting to Kentucky's chemistry, to their production on the floor, rather than us changing the lineup just to have Reed and Rob. I honestly don't think it matters. I think Reed and Rob, they play 30 minutes a game, so starting them an extra 5 minutes. I mean, what difference does it make this late in the season to change the lineup? I think it's just going to hurt us compared to I don't think we'll get much gain compared to what we're going to get.
I feel like Reed and Rob. Yeah, I'm on my job. I feel like Reed. No, Coach Cal, if you're watching this, we know you watch the show, obviously. We love you, bro.
How do you know?
We love you. We just know. We know. We love you, Coach Cal. We just want a natty. That's all we want. We just want a little natty. All right, just a little natty. Selection show, Sunday. Where does Kentucky end up in the selection show?
It's been the same before the Tennessee game. We said maybe that might push us up a little bit, but with the first round exit, I just got them in the number five seed, around that range. Not going to be easy. That first round game might be pretty easy, but the second round it's going to get tough. You're going to run into teams like Texas A&M that can play, and the recipe's out there. The teams know what it takes to beat Kentucky. You slow them down. You play in the half court. You play physical with them, and then you try to do that, and you have a really good chance to beat them. They're not. You got to attack their guards. You got to attack them on the offense, because they have struggles. Keep them in front of guys. So said the recipe's out there to beat Kentucky. It's just for Kentucky to be able to translate and get better. Use these few days to make tweaks. I saw, like I said, it goes back to Cal. I don't blame him. I saw him do pretty much everything in that last game. He went zone. We usually don't see him go zone. He even tried that. He went zone. He went small. I mean, it just wasn't working. So I got to say, the recipe's out there. We'll take the number 5 seed, but it won't be easy. It's not going to be an easy road.
Looking at the bracketology that Joe Lenardi sends out daily now, I still am confident that we're still a 4. Now keep in mind, prior to Tennessee losing and then prior to Duke and Creighton losing the night before, UK was the number 1 4 seed / last 3 seed. Okay, so we took care of business last night, and like I said in the previous show, I think a 2 was on the table, and it was very much so. Because Arizona got beat last night. Mm-hmm. So I think ultimately we'll be a 4, the last 4, or the first 5. Either way it goes, you don't die. Like, you wanted to come in as a 2 or a 3 so you can avoid the 1 seed until the Sweet 6 or the Elite 8. Yeah. But with this being said, a 4 and a 5, you're playing them in the Sweet 16 game. You don't want to play a 1 seed. That was the ultimate goal. I mean, the same thing. You didn't want to play Tennessee in the SEC tournament until the championship game. Yeah. So, man, we've seen some. I know I've been bashing on Cal, but man, we've seen a lot of great things in March from Cal. So maybe he's got another tweak in his arsenal, but the defense is so bad that I don't know if we can overcome this when you've got teams that are just as hungry as you are, and maybe not, maybe more. We're Kentucky. Whoever we play, we're gonna that. So A&M was the second worst 3-point shooting team in the country. Literally, only one team was worse than them in percentage. They shot 52% and made more than we did.
So everybody says that whenever you play Kentucky, you shoot so well. Yeah. Everything goes in. What if it's just our defense? It's just not as good, and they're just wide open, and they're just making shots. What if it's just that?
Could be.
Could be. Well, when you said we've seen Cal go to zone, right? I know you watched that.
I did.
What happened?
They shot 2 back-to-back threes, I believe.
3
back-to-back.
One from the far corner, 2 from Wade Taylor.
Top of the key.
Yeah, and listen, The dude came out because of cramp. I thought that was a good thing. Like
Me too. I said, this is perfect. This is when you change the pace of the game. This is
we
when
go zone. He comes back in. He pops 2 in a row, and then we're down, double digits again. The moral of the story here is that you're survive in advance, one game at a time. Don't look past nobody. We've already lost first round to the St. Peter Fighting Peacocks.
Good times.
Yeah,
good times.
yeah.
Good times.
So it can happen.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Yeah, it can happen, but let's win round 1 first, right? Can we agree? Let's just win one to make sure that we can get on the right page. But I can't wait for the next clip for March Madness episode.
Yeah. So our next episode is going to be March Madness. That'll be our next episode. We have a lot of interaction with the fans. A lot of different things. I think a couple prizes. So it'll be fun. We'll show you all our picks. Mike, you're upset, man. You're really.
Look, I'm glad I don't have a checkup at the doctor's office because my blood pressure would be up right now. And the thing is, we're going on the first day after the game, and I'm still feeling like I'm watching it live right now.
If you like this, what was you like? What were you like yesterday when it happened, my man? What was?
Let's put it this way, and I'm not joking. My woman left the house. She said she can't deal with me, so
Bro.
she went to my stepmom and dad's house, and I watched it with my cat.
Did you rewatch the game or?
Absolutely
He watched
not.
it with his cat. He watched it with his
my
cat. Oh my gosh. The wife couldn't stay in the house, so we had to watch it with the cat. I love it, man. That's why they call it March Madness, because Mike gets mad.
Man, hey, let's just bring up. I feel bad for all the cat fans that bought the 3-4 day pass. Oh, yeah. Maybe the new approach should be buy one day at a time. I mean, I'm just saying, guys. I mean, we just brought up the stats, right? 4 out of the last 5 years, we won one game. Just
1 day pass.
Yeah, just buy 1 day passes, just like South Carolina and Vandy maybe, and you might get them cheaper day 2. I feel bad for them.
Dude, I feel bad for your cat.
Oh no, she was fine.
Was she? Was she mad?
If she could speak, I guarantee she would be upset too.
Because No, we appreciate everybody watching. Please please subscribe. Everybody have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day weekend, and please be back because we got a lot of stuff for y'all that's going to be interactive, and you do not want to miss that.